This is your weekly trip to paradise, Louisiana style, with Gary Risponi. Paradise, Louisiana is brought to you by Circle K. Taking it easy, Louisiana State Parks. Follow your outside voice to our parks and historic sites. Farm Bureau Insurance, Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, Louisiana Fish Fry Products, Veterans Help Foundation, Relief Windows, Experience, Quality, Service, Catering Cajun, creative catering from casual to corporate. Visit Baton Rouge, an authentic Louisiana experience. Murphy Law Firm, don't be a victim twice. And by CCA Louisiana and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament.
Welcome to the 838th edition of Paradise, Louisiana. Here we are, Superior Bait and Tackle on Segan Lane. My guest, Derek Hudnall. He is the news. He is the news. Derek, I've been knowing you since you used to jump in your daddy's boat when we come in from fishing, and that's a long time ago. I don't want to say it. Well, I don't care if we were fishing the Amite River, the Spillway. As soon as we pulled up, your daddy and them off O'Neill, and there you were. You were coming in there and jump in that boat and play with the fish. Now you fulfilled a dream.
I did.
And we're going to talk about it. Most of the news is all about Derek and Mr. Caleb Summerall, two local guys that did well at the Open. Now, when we come back, what's the most exciting thing what happened this past week, though?
Oh, man, fulfilling a dream. You know, the first one was to qualify for the Bassmasters Elite Series, and I did that about 3 weeks ago, and Bassmasters changed their format this year to where they put an Opens Championship where it put the top 10 from each of the Opens division together to really duke it out for those final points, and the top 3 in points get an invitation to the Bassmasters Classic, and guess what? I did it.
Come in third
on
the last day. God bless you. Look,
still exhaling.
That's the crust of our show this week. We got lots coming up. I made a bunch of trips. I went to the CCA Star Banquet. Chris, our producer, was there, and we got some interviews coming from there and all the winners. I also made a quick trip at the LSU DU banquet, and we talked to some of those students that put this on. You know, DU's students to universities, they got their own branches. I've been to Southeastern and I've been to Nichols, and now LSU's been on a while. So they do a great job, had a big crowd. We got some tournament, rodeo reports, Southwest, Junior Bassmasters with Toledo been 2 days. Try to get a fish report out of you, but he'd been up in Table Rock and all those other places fishing. I don't know what we're going to get, but we're going to find out the story. We're going to find out more about Derek Hudnall. It's a long opening, and I'm going to thank somebody before I forget. T. Evans Marina down in Dulac. He sent me these. You know, I get a bunch of these, but what I like most about John Bernard and y'all keep sending me a fishing report and letting us know what's going on. Thank you. We'll be right back. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana. Bassmaster Classic qualifier, Derek Hudnall.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for more Paradise, Louisiana. Voted Best of Louisiana Outdoors 3 years in a row.
Ask me about my Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me how fast I fall asleep.
Why not talk to someone who's sleeping on the most highly recommended bed in America?
Ask me about staying asleep.
Tempur-Pedic owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand.
Ask me how it feels after 10 years.
Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America.
Ask about Tempur-Pedic at Olin's, where you know you always get the guaranteed low price. Olin's is the only store in Baton Rouge and Lafayette with the full line of Tempur-Pedics.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. We believe you deserve a quality job.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention
and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy, you got a friend.
Benny's Unlimited Wash Club memberships start at $14.99 a month. Wash, rinse, and repeat every day. Join Benny's Unlimited Wash Club at one of Benny's 7 locations.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Derek Hudnall.
Yes, sir.
You know, before we get started, I know the Bassmaster, the ultimate dream is coming true, the Elite Series, the Bassmaster Classic, all these tournaments you've been fishing, you and all the other local guys. You might be the, well, I don't know, about the 5th or 6th person I know locally that went through the process, especially from Louisiana, and gonna fish the Classic. But tell us a little bit about Derek Hudnall, where you was raised and who got you started in fishing, and when you start fishing tournaments, how old you were?
Oh man, that's been a long time ago. Of course, most people here in South Louisiana know my dad, Roger, and you've known him a long time too. And man, he was one of the big sticks in South Louisiana. You know, he was, you know, himself and Bill England, you know, before rest his soul, he passed away, were widely known as 2 of the best anglers down here in South Louisiana. So I kind of grew up in it, so I was a bit biased. And man, I fished co-angler through the BFLs with him coming up when I was a teenager into my early 20s, and you know, started fishing professionally in bass tournaments here locally when I got into my early to mid 20s. And man, I went through a pretty rough divorce, you know, that 2010 range, and you know, I went through a hard time. I had to sell my boat. I lost my boat, and I didn't fish for like 4 years, Gary. And it was always a dream of mine. And I met my wife 6 years ago, and one of the first things she told me is she could see the passion inside of me for what I'm doing now. And she's like, Derek, you're going to do that again. You know, it's going to happen again. And, you know, without the support of my family, my wife, my kids, my family, and the good Lord upstairs, you know, and about 3 years ago, I took the leap and said, I'm gonna give it all I got. You know, I started doing it full time. I had to really focus on growing the business side of it. You know, so a lot of my partners that you see here that we'll talk about in a minute are the reason why I can do what I do. You know, I started really focusing on the business side. I made the leap. I have a full wrap of my boat and truck, and I really started showing partners value in what I do and in myself. And so I made the leap.
It's
you know,
still a tough one.
It is. It absolutely is. And actually, you know,
it's hard to make a lot of money.
That's right.
There's very few people do.
That's right. And the Bassmasters Elite Series was the only one that you really have to qualify to fish those. And that's what I've been trying to do for 3 years. I've fished all 3 divisions the last 2 years to really get me experience in places like New York.
Right now.
Even though I knew I probably wouldn't compete at the top on the Easterns and fishing those northern lakes like in New York and stuff, that was going to give me invaluable experience for when I do qualify for the Elite Series. Because the last thing I want to do is get in the Elite Series and then only be there 2 years and then have to get kicked out because of points. So I think that's gonna really help me. But finally did it this year in the Centrals. I had a great year. I think I finished 32nd at Ross Barnett in the first one. I finished 3rd at the Arkansas River, 18th at Red River, and then Logan Martin was 41st. That was my worst finish this year. And so this year with the championship getting in, Table Rock Lake in the fall, we fished it twice in the Opens in the last 3 years, Table Rock, and that's a place that's just been a thorn in my side. I mean, it's enormous. It's like 38,000 miles of shoreline in that place. Super deep, super clear water. All 3 species, smallmouth, largemouth, and spotted bass play in that place. Fall transition is the toughest time of the year to fish anywhere, and especially in those deep, clear water lakes.
But some of your fans is people that watch you grow up, and you know, they were calling me and telling me, they were calling me most first about Caleb. Caleb's leading after the 2nd day, you know, and what sort of happened?
You know,
Caleb?
We had some major fronts hit us, guys. I mean, we had the first day of the tournament, we caught them okay, but it was a tough day. The second day, we had the front actually moving through. So we had bad weather, it was cold, it rained all day, it was absolutely miserable. And the fish actually ate pretty good that second day, and Caleb was leading it. And now the front came in, and Saturday, championship Saturday, Caleb was leading it, and along with Tyler Rivette was up there in the top 3 as well. I was sitting in, I think, 7th going into that last day. And that high pressure really knocked him in the head, and it put those fish super, super deep. And in deep, clear water lakes like Table Rock, that time of the year, the thermocline starts to disappear. And when that disappears, those fish can go super deep. So that high pressure really punched them in the mouth, and I think it changed a lot of what Caleb was doing. And Caleb is a fantastic angler, and and I know he scrambled and did everything he could on that final day. But that final day was tough for a lot of people, not just Caleb and Tyler, but for a lot of guys up there. I was fortunate enough to my starting spot. I caught my first 4 on my first 5 casts of the morning, and it quit, and I didn't put my 5th keeper in the boat till 30 minutes before weigh-in, which that fish solidified my classic berth for sure.
Now, talking about the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
Mm-hmm.
The acorn don't fall from the tree. It all depends on whether you're a deer hunter or what. But let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. You know, your daddy, you followed your daddy's example. You got a 15-year-old son.
I do, Braxton.
You know, coming up in the report, the high school bass fishing right now is going crazy.
Isn't it?
So it's getting good, getting sponsors, getting on TV more and more. Bassmasters know the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Not only the college series, but the high school series. So anything else you got to tell me? Or what else want to talk about?
Well, I need to say thank you to my partners. Like I said, my partners in the business end of it is what makes the world go for me. Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, right here in Baton Rouge, a regional hospital. I'm sure most of you watching probably know what's going on right now is they're building a brand new freestanding children's hospital right now. You should see it right there off of Bluebonnet. It's incredible.
John Paul's everywhere.
John Paul is the man. He is my good friend and has been a great supporter of me. But those people in that place.
I interviewed him at Swofest, and that's another one that's a big supporter.
He absolutely
is. What else
is.
you got?
Man, Vivid Ink Graphics right here in Baton Rouge. If you see my boat and truck rolling around in Baton Rouge area, those guys are absolutely incredible. Missile Baits, John Cruz. I mean, I've won more money on his baits than anything. Trapper Tackle, the hooks. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen Trapper Tackle hooks now, these things restrict movement and it just increases your hookup ratio.
Okay. I don't want to joke, these ain't my sponsors, but we're going to give them a chance.
That's right.
Because they pay the bill for him.
And these are people who support me. And Serve Pro of South Baton Rouge right here. Anytime you need fire, water, damage, any type of that restoration, these guys, Jeff and Wilbur, that own two franchises. Blake Betts is absolutely a good fisherman. And Jeff travels around with him a lot. Those guys are just awesome. And Lawrence Electronics and CMAP, which is really making a big push right now in the mapping industry for our electronics and power pole. And man, great big announcement, Skeeter Boats. I'm going to be fishing for Skeeter and Yamaha next year. And I also could have.
Yeah, don't forget, they're right across the river, the Cajun Outboard.
That's right. And Ken, I was just getting to some of the best. And Mike Onkel and Toby over there at Cajun Outboards, guys, those guys have helped me out, even though I'm 700 miles away in some of these events. So guys, if you're looking for a Skeeter, a Phoenix, a bay boat, a saltwater boat, you got to give those guys a call in Addis, Louisiana.
Derek, you know, one of the biggest events, you know, child being born, weddings and stuff, that's always a big event. One of the biggest events coming up, you know, next year in March. How you going to, you know, in your mind and in your heart, how you going to prepare for one of the biggest events in your life?
One day at a time. And luckily for the Classic, and anyway, it's March, I believe, 15th, 16th, and 17th. Next year, Knoxville, Tennessee, the Tennessee River. You know, our days are actually planned for us. You know, it starts with the weekend before. We can scout Thursday, Friday, Saturday before the event. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, they put us up there at the expo. It's an enormous expo. I mean, there's, I think, 250,000 people that come through that expo. We have media days in there that we have to attend. We have meetings and banquets. We have a media day there that we have to set up, and people that buy backstage passes and VIP passes and people that have media passes can come by and go through each individual angler's boat, ask questions, go through their stuff, look at everything. We have the Dinner of Champions that Wednesday night where the old champions that have all won the Bassmasters Classic show up and speak and man.
What you gonna be doing to get ready between now and then?
Oh my goodness, you know, right now it's just it's solidifying all of my partners for next year. It's getting a calendar and a game plan, because it's not just fishing for me. It's not just fishing the actual elite events and the Classic. It's making sure that I'm bringing value to my partners and getting all that set up now and getting my whole 2019 calendar set up.
What about you? You're talking about your partners, but you know, with the internet now, where everything, you know, people all weekend, them guys were calling me, we're watching the weigh-ins and everything. How you gonna find out more information? Have you ever fished Tennessee River?
I never have, and you know, in the new Elite Series rule,
have
you? Well, you can't tell me about it. So, you know, the new Elite Series rules is I can't have any outside information. Now, anything that's on the internet is public knowledge. Now, I can search YouTube and I can watch videos and look up reports and old tournaments and out of there, but I can't get any information from somebody who has knowledge of that place. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of hours spent on YouTube and searching the internet for any type of reports from that place from that time of the year. And that goes with all 9 Elite Series events and not just the Classic. But, yeah, I have a lot of homework to do myself.
I never forget, I fished Lake Sidney and Near. And all the big timers over there, you know, Bill Dance and all the big ones.
Right.
Know, Roland Martin and the Murrays and all of them. And I was hanging around there. And you know I'm a talker. You know, but every time we'd go to a Walmart and then Bill Dance would be there and we'd be with him and watching him. You know, how many people would come up to him and give him information? I mean,
Can't do that anymore.
You know, I know, but I mean, what he can do, say, shut up, I can't hear it, but I don't know where he took it, but they would come and say, you know what, so-and-so, and you know, he's such a swell guy, and they ain't never got caught cheating.
And speaking of old timers, you know, 1989, my dad and I were sitting on the couch and I watched Hank Parker hold up that wooden trophy of the Bassmasters Classic, and I've never forgotten that moment.
How many times you watched Hank Parker's show after that?
A lot. And you know what? You know what's weird about it? Is I have seen Hank Parker on many of occasions through ICAST and the events and stuff like that, and I still haven't got it in myself to go up to him and meet him and talk to him. It's just,
Bill Dance
I get butterflies.
Bill Dance doing the saltwater stream. He comes to that tow field all the time.
And I talked to Bill Dance not long ago, actually. He actually designed Lake Okissa, that's just north of here. And I talked to him at ICAST last year, and he put his arm around me, and he said, Derek, how is Okissa doing? And I told him, great fishery up there, but he's a great man.
I got some more pictures with me and Bill Dance, and I still sing his song in the boat. Eddie and Jack the Polar, rest his soul.
That's right.
He said, when the sun came up this morning,
that's right.
I took the time to watch it rise, and as its beauty struck the darkness from the sky.
Talk to me.
I thought how small and unimportant all my troubles seemed to be. Oh, how lucky another day belongs to me. Outdoors with Bill Dance. That's Jerry Reed's song, and you know I couldn't. Jerry Reed sold all the stuff, and we can't get a copy. Bill couldn't even get me a copy. Hey, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I can't imagine a day without music. You go downtown, you can find some music. You come uptown, you can find some music. Monday night, they got music. Every night of the week, there's music somewhere. Baton Rouge is a place where it's easy to make friends, it's easy to hear some music, and it's easy to come back. We got the music, we got the food, and we got good people. So with that combination, you can't lose, right? You ever come to Louisiana?
Hey, we've been fishing together for years, as you watch the show, but I got my captain's license. I'm ready to take you out to share the kind of experience that I grew up with my family having. Give me a holler, chefkd.com. Don't tell nobody, but we gonna cook and eat pretty good on board. See you soon.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy, you got a friend.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
One of the biggest CCA events we talk about every year is the barbecue of the awards night. CCA Star Banquet, Live Oak with Williams. Phil Witter's always there and donating there. And let me tell you what, it was packed. Everything was early. Food was good.
That's good.
Oh, Catering Cajuns are still putting it out, buddy. I was there, and Chris got there early, interviewed some of the winners and the kids. It's just to see how these people, what they do and what they put out, and it's still it works as a fundraiser. You all see the events that we're going, you know, people fishing trips around the world, hunting trips. It's just a great night, and it's an award night, and that's what it's supposed to be. For a great year CCA has, and we'll get out to the news report. We got some more banquets coming up too, so let's make a visit to Live Oak Arabians and Jefferson CCA Star Banquet.
I caught a redfish last year, and I wasn't entering. My dad was going to enter me in it the night before, but he forgot to, and I caught one that day. I went up to the house, and I was like, Dad, I got one, and he started freaking out. Well, this year, and I had 2 people on the inside, so I went to the outside, and my dad pulled up, and I was catching like a lot of redfish, and I cast him whenever he got out the truck, and I caught the tagged redfish.
Hi, my name's Gary Kendler, and I love CCA. This past summer, thankfully, speckled trout weren't biting very well, so we decided to go and see if we can catch a few redfish. After a short stint, it was north of Grand Isle on Raccoon Bay, and I snagged a nice redfish, threw it in the boat. Unfortunately, it didn't even know it had a tag at the moment. We unhooked it. When I went to put it in the ice chest, flipped it over, and I was like, oh my God, I think I have one. The real punch to this story is we caught one 4 years earlier. My wife caught one 4 years earlier, and we weren't registered. So this was not supposed to happen again. Everybody told me don't ever register, you'll never do it again. But I did, and here we are. Nice fine boat. I love it. Great. Thank you.
Well, it was really nothing special. It was during the Catholic High Rodeo, and I was fishing with my grandson Charles Gordon and with my good friend Tony Bruce. And truthfully, we got on a real good trout bite, and any one of the 3 of us could have caught the fish that I caught. We had a real good stringer. I just happened to catch one that was big enough to, win the Star Tournament. Went out of Baptiste Colette, which I never fished, on Saturday, and we ended up catching 43 trout that Saturday morning, and we had 5 that went 28 pounds. It was the best day of the summer, and we didn't even come close to the rest of the summer.
It was actually a trip with my boss. We fished with a group of customers, and we fished mangroves and lemonfish, and we had 2 lemonfish that day. And it just so happened they had one that came up, and the captain screamed, "Hey, lemonfish on the port side!" So I looked behind me, and they had a rod with a jig. So I grabbed it and I caught it. And we knew it was a big fish. And when we got back to the dock, I went and weighed it in, and it was 56.7. So I was pumped up because I knew it was the first place. But it was the second week of June, so the tournament had only been going on for 2 weeks. So I said, no way it's gonna hold, and doubt it did.
No, I've been fishing this CCA tournament for years, but never really knew what we would win. I never paid that much attention to it. The first 2 fish caught in the boat was nice sized fish, and the third one that we caught in the boat was the tagged fish, but it was a small one, and I just tugged it in the boat like it was a trout, and when it was seen it on the bottom of the boat, it had a tag in it. Then I didn't know what to do next. We had to get on the phone and start Googling and trying to see where we went from there. And that's when we found out we wanted a truck, and we had to go register our fish.
My name is Tyrus Sloan Jr., and I just won this boat.
Yeah, so we were red fishing near a water structure, and we were catching redfish, and suddenly Si was in the front of the boat reeling in a fish, and I'm thinking it was a redfish, right, coming in. And he suddenly says, "Dad, it's a yellowmouth." And I freaked out. I'm like, really? A trout? So man, I grabbed a net, get him up in the boat, and man, about a 4-pound trout. So quite exciting, right? We were both kind of freaking out.
My name is Marin Field, and I won this boat in the CCA Star Tournament.
Marin caught this fish, 2-pound trout, and we want to register for the Star. It's a rainy Sunday afternoon, and the only place I could find is like the Wrigley's to go weigh and measure this fish. So we go in there, Marin does all the paperwork, everything she needs to do, fills it out, justifies it, everything's good. Then when Rad calls me and tells me we won, he said I could have emailed a picture in. But anyhow, Marin is one more cast, one more shrimp. The fish is coming.
Well, I was having a bad day, but then we weren't catching any fish, and then I cast it out, and I waited a long time, and then the fish got on it, and we got it in, and it just made me really happy.
My name is Ethan, and I won this boat by fishing the CCA Star Tournament. The first place I go fishing in this boat is probably going to be Bulow Lake.
It was just a regular day. We went to Grand Isle for vacation, and we went on the beach and got ourselves into a mess of trout, and I put a little pop cork on there for him, and he threw it out there, and as soon as it went under, I told him, I said, reel, reel, and he started reeling, and he started getting hossing it a little bit. I told him, I said, easy, easy, and he walked it all the way up to the bank and put it up on the beach, and he was ready to go. He loved it, and he wasn't going to touch it at first because he said it's got teeth on it. I said, don't worry, I'll hold it so he can take your picture. But he loved it, and now he's hooked.
The best part about being a member of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative is that it's your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
There's no better way to cool down this summer than with a delicious, thirst-quenching Polar Pop Cup from Circle K. The Polar Pop Cup is the coolest way to beat the heat. Fill your Polar Pop Cup up with the flavors you crave and crushed or cubed ice. Nothing stays cold longer, so you can stay refreshed all day long. Stop in Circle K today for an ice-cold Polar Pop Cup. Polar Pop Cup, only at Circle K. Take it easy.
The perfect event calls for the perfect spread of authentic Cajun cuisine. And Catering Cajun has the planners, packages, and chefs to ensure your event is long remembered. For weddings, corporate lunches, or anything in between, give us a call.
Welcome to LSU. The DU banquet, one of the most enjoyable DU banquets you would find in the country right now. And to believe these young people that are spreading the word about conservation and everything. Tell me your name, where you from?
I'm Colette Pancini. I'm from Dallas, Texas.
And you're a student leader and co-chair?
Yes, sir.
And your name?
I'm Gunther Spohr. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I am also a co-chair.
What made y'all get started with this? You hunt from where you from?
Yeah, I do a little bit of hunting, but my dad also got me involved with Ducks Unlimited at a very young age. And so I have always been involved with the West Houston chapter growing up. And then when I got to LSU, I was looking to get involved in an extracurricular activity. And so I decided to do the Tiger chapter, and here I am.
You're a Tiger fan now, all the way?
Yes, sir, all the way.
You know, you'll have trouble recruiting people because, you know, Louisiana's a big outdoor. You know what, Louisiana, sportsman's paradise. That's what we call ourselves. And what about you? You're a young lady. We always pushing ladies, women in the outdoors.
Yes.
You come up hunting and fishing?
No, actually, I grew up in a family that didn't really hunt and fish at all, but I'm a student in the School of Renewable Natural Resources, studying natural resource management. So a lot of my professors hunt and fish, and their passion for Ducks Unlimited really got me interested in it. So I came to a meeting one day, fell in love with the type of people that DU attracts, and they're really my best friends to this day. And so the whole environment kind of got me started. But through this, I've actually been able to go on my first duck hunt ever, which was so cool. And now
teal hunt? Duck hunt last year or what?
It was a duck hunt last year, and then this year I got to go on a teal hunt. So I'm all in now. It's so fun.
Can you get me invited? I have missed my teal hunt.
Next time, you and I.
You know, Luke LeBoard does a great job.
Yes,
he
sir.
must do a great job recruiting.
Yes.
Y'all did a great job. Thank y'all for letting us be here. Thanks, Sam Barbera. By the way, if y'all want to know anything, Sam Barbera is with the Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries Foundation.
Yes, sir.
And they sponsor all kind of projects. So if you got a good project and what you're trying to do in your curriculum, you get in touch with Sam Barbette.
Yes, sir.
Thank you again, Sam. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana. This is LSU. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Come on, Ducks.
Pause moving and storage.
We just sold our house.
Congratulations.
We have 2 weeks to move.
We'll deliver a few containers.
Our new home's not ready.
No problem. You can store things with us while you're between homes.
We might need help.
We'll refer trusted packers.
We'll be staying at my brother's.
Well, that sounds...
He has kids of his own.
Well...
5 of them.
Ma'am?
Help.
Trust us for local and long-distance moving and store at our storage centers. Pods, moving and storage, solved.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy, you got a friend.
So what are you going to do with the speckled trout? That's right.
There's just no doubt about it that this is a place where food is created differently from anywhere else in the world because it just couldn't happen anywhere else. We're a culture made up of so many different people, love of ingredients, love of cooking styles, and they all right here. At the end of the day, that's all Baton Rouge.
Benny's Unlimited Wash Club memberships start at $14.99 a month. Wash, rinse, and repeat every day. Join Benny's Unlimited Wash Club at one of Benny's 7 locations.
White shrimp. What am I using? Our TKO Shrimp Creole color from MatrixShed.com. Alright, during this time of year, going from that September-October period of time, it's known as transition time. And the fish are going to move around a lot, and what keeps them moving and what they're going to stay on is the white shrimp. That is the absolute key to where the speckled trout are going to be located at. And wherever the white shrimp are, a lot of times that's where the seagulls are going to be diving, and they'll tell the tale of where the fish are at. So when we pull up to an area and maybe see a few shrimp jumping or some seagulls diving, even if it's 8, 10, 15 foot of water, we still like to use popping corks. And the reason you use the popping corks, the matrix floats, or whatever cork you really like, is because it makes the sound of a shrimp jumping out the water. Whatever you have underneath is up to you. We were using matrix sheds and the TKO shrimp today, and just by having that sound in the cork is really the key. Now today's particular day, we were coming right off the back end of Hurricane Michael, which was devastating to the Panhandle and even created a storm surge here. And it was our first day of getting some northerly winds in quite a long time, which creates colder temperatures, obviously. First day wearing a jacket or a sweatshirt all day, and that created an incredible falling tide all day, pulling a lot of shrimp out of the marsh, and they got all balled up on top of trout and underneath seagulls diving. And that was the ticket. So let me go ahead and send you back to watching some of the clips from this morning of catching fish just about every cast. mouth the whole time. Keeper. Got you one, double trouble. Well, now you know, as soon as the first few cold fronts start hitting in the month of October, it's time to look for the birds and catch beautiful speckled trout like these right here. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dockside TV. Catching nice trout under the popping corks using a matrix shed. Whoa! And the TKO Shrimp Creole color. Until next time, good fishing. Oh, is he? Yeah. Oh yeah, get that. Got the fish. Yeah. Let me see. The broken line. Is that what you're from? No. Yeah.
Hi, I'm John Jackson, and you know we always say we gather our groceries out the bayou. Whether it's freshwater, saltwater, catfish, redfish, you have tons of choices when it comes to fish in Louisiana. But when I fry fish, there's only one choice, and that's Louisiana fish fry. My new favorite, the Cajun fish fry, has the perfect amount of cornmeal, corn flour, and the perfect mix of spices that really bring the heat. Hey, if you're craving Cajun, go look for the bright red bag at your local grocers. Bring home the taste of Louisiana with Louisiana Fish Fry.
The perfect event calls for the perfect spread of authentic Cajun cuisine. And Catering Cajun has the planners, packages, and chefs to ensure your event is long remembered. For weddings, corporate lunches, or anything in between, give us a call.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. We believe you deserve a quality job.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana, and our rodeo and tournament report. Well, we just gave you a big report at the open there, and it was great. Some of them guys you mentioned are just amazing. You know, they come from everywhere we got pulled. I want you to know how much we're going to be pulling for you and Caleb and all the rest of y'all guys fishing.
Couldn't do without local support.
I'm telling you what, you got it. Now, talk about local support. One of the first tournaments, we always wait, and he came in a little late with it, so. But I got to talk about my friends over there at the Junior Southwest Bassmasters, Cindy and Mr. Bro. Y'all did a tremendous job, huh?
Awesome people, huh?
Oh yeah, they're doing that, you know. And the state tournaments are now. They got a state tournament. They got a qualifier coming up in Manchac.
That's right.
This coming Saturday. You got to do it. They broke it up in two divisions now. You know, they got a West division and the East division. And they're going to have 3 tournaments and then a championship. So,
right.
By the way, stay tuned and look up on your schedules for TV. Pelican Sports TV are going to be covering the high schools in the East Zone this year. So keep looking up and thank all them sponsors that are doing it. The tournament they had at Toledo Bend this past weekend, I guess the wind was pretty good Saturday, but I don't know what happened to it on the second day, but
that same front that hit us hit them, and that high pressure sat in and made it really tough for them.
I guess it did, boy. But these kids is amazing right now. The 15 to 18-year-old age group, kind of Russian, won it with 19.74 pounds. That's 10 fish now.
My man.
By the way, and it was a 2-day tournament. Second was Trace Day, another little boy I practiced almost raised right there, coming out of Central and Denham Springs. He had 16.39, 10 bass. And third was Caden Riley with 9.87 and 6 bass. Big bass was kind of Russian. In 11-14, first place was Zach Henderson with 13.51, 7 bass. Second place was Jackson Landry with 10.55, 4 bass. Third was Gag Collins with 6.73. Big fish was Jackson Landry with 9.26.
4.26.
Go with do what?
4.26.
Okay, I'm sorry. I see my own right. Thank you,
That's
brother.
okay, man.
You got good eyes. You
I'm
can
looking
spot them
out for
fish.
you.
Look, 7 to 10. First was Jack Bonador with 8.61. 6 bass. Second was Caden Sellers with 7.21. He had 4 bass. Third was Blake Leroy. Big fish was Jack Bonador with 2.32, and the top adder was Larry Russian with 19.74 at 10 bass. Big fish was Ryan Abass with 3.57. So the 14-year-old had the biggest fish at 4 points. Where's 4 points?
2.6.
There it is. 4.26. So we're getting pretty good fishing, y'all. What a great deal. Thanks. Keeping in touch. And don't forget, look at Pelican Sport TV, and you'll start seeing these kids when they're doing with the high school qualifying coming up. And Mr. Hoover, we're doing a great job doing that.
Indeed.
Another thing we got coming up in the news events, we got different one. The final event for the Lafayette Kayak Fishing Club, November 3rd, out of Sycamore Point State Park. You got to remember the state parks. That's one of our big sponsors. You know, it's a good one. So it's called a Turkey Trout Throwdown. It's to determine the angler of the year. They got 5 speckled trout, and get the biggest 5 speckled trout weighed, and then they give they pull out a big cast pot for the heaviest trout. You gotta look at this picture. Somebody sent me in again another one of these sunsets at the park, at the point, and it's by Don Moe, Senior. Now we got a bunch of dates coming up.
All right.
Now I want you to help me. Now, you read behind me, so I won't do it. You talk better than me, too.
I got you.
You know, but October 26th is Chapel Chapter Quails Forever Banquet. That's at Bridgeview Gun Club. That's on Northwest Drive in Port Allen, off of LA1. You can call John Bellance, 225-266-1953. October 30th, also Point Capee DU, Scott Civic Center. October 30th, CCA South Lafourche. November 1st, CCA Slidell chapter. Good chance I might be there. And then November 7th at Delta Waterfowl, their big one at the Birds. Big one. Delta Waterfowl, the Birds starting at 6 o'clock. See if we're forgetting anything else. I got it all, huh? You thinking anything? You got any events you want to tell them? Huh? By the way, when's the hospital?
Say it again?
When's the hospital scheduled to be finished?
The fall of 2019.
Yeah.
How about that?
Coming up. It's moving on.
How about that?
It broke ground and everything, huh?
Man, it's rolling.
It's rolling?
I'll tell you what.
We're going to have to go look. Let's encourage John Paul. Stay tuned. We'll be back with Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report.
Okay, Brett, safety and car insurance.
Never scored a safety. That's defense. But go on, please.
Yeah, defensive. That's exactly how you should drive.
There is no such thing as a defensive drive. Offense makes the drive.
Oh, I mean when you're on the road.
But it doesn't matter, home or away.
Okay, clearly I'm striking out here.
That's baseball.
Get great auto rates from Farm Bureau Insurance. Call your agent today.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy, you got a friend.
Hey y'all, it's Sam Barbera. I'm with the Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries Foundation. The foundation is a nonprofit that raises funds and provides support for the Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries Department. We assist with numerous projects like black bear, whooping crane, bald eagle, as well as family, youth, and women's workshops. For all of the information on the foundation, visit lawff.org. We need your support to help our wildlife and fisheries. Visit lawff.org.
In Louisiana, our state parks are the perfect family destination. With nearly 180 miles of trails through park grounds and historic sites, you can endlessly explore nature, try some kayaking or world-class fishing, then find the perfect campsite or settle into a cozy cabin. Louisiana is calling, and she's using her outside voice. Plan your escape today at www.lastateparks.com.
Welcome back to Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report. And we talk about fishing report, and you need any bait, you're going to forget Superior Bait and Tackle. They got everything, and if they don't have it, they order it. You look on that back table, you see names that they ordered for
That's
special
right.
people.
They take care of them.
And by the way, those shoes I told you to go get about, they're better than the Crocs anyway. I got them on. I got them on the counter. They're going to quit making them, so they still got a good supply, so you better come by here and get you some good boat shoes. Don't slip at all. Now, guess what? Lake Catherine. I'm gonna start off with freshwater, and salt water. I'm gonna leave you with the freshwater. Lake Catherine.
Tell us
It's
about
Angie Stewart, the Island Marina, sending me another good report. I happen to be down there and talk with some of them guys. Right now, I'm gonna mention some places so you put it in your mind. If you know that area, we're good. Catherine's Pass, Miller Ditch, Deepwater, Unknown Pass. These are people. West Pearl. When I say the West Pearl, all my local guys and the people that were fishing around there, and my buddy Ken Lambert, they were all fishing the West Pearl. They must have had 10, 15 boats. A lot of the guys are always fishing out there. And this is what they're doing. They're fishing in the lake. They're catching a smorgasbord of fish. You know, they're catching white trout. They're catching speckled trout. Redfish are everywhere. Again, they're fishing. Fishing the trout, they're fishing deep drop-offs, and they're using drop shot. Or they get up in the bank, them fish are moving in, they got grass, and they're fishing under cork, they're fishing live shrimp.
That time of the year.
They're using matrix shad, Dudley's using his own baits, and they're catching a lot of them and on sparkle beetles. They say sparkle beetles, but they're fishing them under cork, and they're getting the shrimp colors and something with a little sparkle in them. When they get wore out, if they're getting a lot of bites, especially with the white trout, they're taking them off. It wants that little sparkle in. I guess it's incandescent what they're doing. She got some pictures she's sending me. They got a grandbaby and all them in the water. And some of those captains I'm going to mention, you know, they got Captain Jim Lamarck, Mike Gallo, Dudley Vanderboer, and my friend Ken Lambert been keeping me up what's going on. Clint DeAlmas, by the way, fishes that area, but I saw him in Hopedale when I was fishing with them girls. They was fishing in points. And Hopedale and the lagoons and stuff. Look, I was at Hopedale. Before we go out, I made a little visit to the cleaning table and talked to some of those kids, and they had so many boats there. When I say so many boats, that morning when we got there, trying to mimic being in a tournament, they were lined up.
Yeah.
They were lined up.
That's awesome.
And look, Pat Turner, one of the owners, and his son, and all, they were bringing them in and out. You know, I don't know how long it was, but when we finally got in the water and we got everything we wanted, waiting, I must have seen 100-some boats put in at the Hopedale Marina. And he was out there, people going in and getting coffee, you know. And me, I was trying to look for something without sugar, eat another biscuit. But I'm going to tell you what, they do a great job over there. I want to compliment and thank Pat.
My name's Connor Tran, and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Where you go to school, Con?
ISL.
Let me see what you got. Well, a good day, look.
Yeah.
Got a box. You still got some of the bait in there.
Yeah, we're gonna save that.
Kevin Juno?
Rhonda Juno?
Denham Spring, look. There we got a lot of whitetail. Where were y'all fishing today?
Muscle Bay. Fishing a few little ponds back in there.
What was the best bait?
Some live shrimp, matrix shads, shrimp creole.
What color matrix?
Shrimp creole.
Creole, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
We got some groceries. Got a few groceries. Bringing it home. You right across the river from me.
Sir.
Another one of the captains that have been sending good reports is Drake Morvant, you know, Island Marina. The Dulac, my old faithful, lots of catches. You know, been coming from there. T. Irvins, John Bernard sending me. By the way, happy anniversary. He sent me a picture of his wife Stephanie with her first redfish, 39 years. That's the secret of long marriage. She'll keep you around. You put her in that boat, take care of her.
And feed
don't
her
let
fish.
her get too hot, don't let her get too cold.
That's right.
Put them on fish.
That's right.
That's good. Your wife fish with you?
Every now and again. But you know what? It's not really her thing. Her thing is more of just supporting me. So, love you, babe.
That's good. By the way, what your wife has been in the business, you know. She used to be the lady I called when Canes was sponsored, and now she's at Walk-On. She's a
sure is
media person or whatever you call her.
Director of marketing for Raising Cane's and Brandon Landry and Drew Breeze, and man, fantastic company. She loves it.
Well, so you gotta put another good word in for me. I need sponsors.
I'll do that.
You don't have me, no.
You need partners.
Partner, that's what you call them.
That's right.
That's
Absolutely.
the truth. That's the
Absolutely.
truth. Lake Verret.
How about some fresh water?
I got one report. I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right.
Lake Verret. I got word and I got a picture from KD. Sent me that picture. Boy, I used to coach football. Kevin King. He back catching them sac-a-lay and bass.
That's
and
right.
Catch them in Lake Verret. Beautiful. I know he fished black and short truth, but he didn't send me a report. But he sent me a picture. I usually don't take pictures unless they got a person in the picture. But I don't know if I can get Kevin. He got real big, but he's slimmed down now. He's catching
He can still
fish.
catch them though.
He's still catching fish.
He can still catch them.
And then I got another report. You talk about Bob Black, because I know a lot of tournaments can be coming from there.
Bob Black and Catawatchee, man. I tell you what, Catawatchee may not be what it was years ago, but the vegetation is starting to come back there. And I've heard from several different people that the fish are starting to show up in that area, from Catawatchee and south, even into Lake Salvador. And the thing you got to remember about this time of the year is this is the time of the year that those shad start to migrate up into the pockets, off the main river channels. And this time of the year, it's important to find the shad. When you find the shad, you're going to find the fish. Good time of the year for your spinner baits, your buzz baits, because the water's starting to cool down. The fish are going to start moving shallower, and they're going to start chasing those topwater baits. I mean, we're coming off of water temperatures in the mid-90s in South Louisiana, and we're finally getting that cool weather, and those fish are going to eat for you. Find the shad, square bill crankbaits, spinner baits, a white buzz bait this time of the year. That's a go-to for myself. But yeah, Bayou Black, Catawatchee.
Mike, rest his soul, Mike Raveler.
That's right.
My good friend Mike Raveler, rest his soul. This time of year, he never took a white spinnerbait or back then, buzz bait. He never took it off his rod, especially early in the morning. We were around there. And then sometimes middle of the day, he'd run around cypress trees.
It's a way to catch a big one.
Steve Fontana.
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about shad. Steve Fontana knows when he fished in Bell River area.
That's right.
He looked for that shad spawn, and he looks out, and wintertime, he got his special little spinnerbait.
That's right.
And
that was a big crankbait
you know what
out
I
there,
used to do?
What you used to do?
I used to bob shallow running crankbait, white shad color, and I throw up on trees and do it. And a lot of people catch them on jerk baits at this time of year too.
Absolutely.
So we're just getting that. Catawatchee, I don't know where they come from. I talked to a bunch of people. They said they were catching numbers, you know, and catching a few good fish coming back. But
that's right.
What are you hearing about Salvador? I heard a guy call me and tell me the other day that the fish are biting in the north end of Salvador.
North end of Salvador, around the passes on the northeast and northwest corner, where the passes are coming in, and you're going to see there's some grass mats out there. And a lot of that area, again, look for the shad. Look for the bait. You start seeing the flickering on top of the water and the bait, you're going to find the fish.
We go over the spillway, going to ever go down? We're going to catch some fish?
Man, it's the time of the year you just don't know. I mean, it could be high until June of next year. We just don't know yet. But, you know, the higher it stays, the longer, the better the spillway is going to be off.
Now, your rivers out in the Eastport, the Florida passes.
That's right.
The rain will get them up. They don't take them but 2 days, if right in the wintertime.
That's right.
Tremendous time to fish bass and sac-a-lay.
Absolutely, especially in the Pearl River and below, even into even down further south below the lakes and into that Bayou Bienvenue area. It'd be a really good time of the year for down there.
I said it wasn't going to be too long, but all them places. Toledo Bend,
yes,
it's still hot.
It's all.
You see, we got pictures coming around. You call the tourism over there.
That's right.
Call your local guide. All these places you want to go. Leeville, Grand Isle, they've been trout bites been loved. Dulac, down in Homer, Cocodrie, the fish on, redfish are everywhere. fishing spinnerbait. You see what and the girls, and then when they were fishing with them, they throwing a matrix shad. The crawl, they call it the white one with the tail.
That's right.
You can say what it looked like. It could look like a shad, but I look like a small crab to me. And when they're rolling, and they got the spin on it, and
That's
then
right.
it's fluttering. They slow it down. So
as long as they eat it.
they eat it. They eat
That's
it.
all that
So
matters.
eat it up. That's it. I got another. Y'all sending reports. Still ain't got a whole lot from coming up in the north and some part of the state. So I guess I'm going to have to call them. They hunting. I talked to them.
I don't blame them.
I talked to Mike Clark, and he's out. They food plotting. They getting ready. They bow hunting, and they getting ready to gun hunt. So
That's right.
duck season coming up. Be ready. Don't forget to take a youth with you. Take them hunting, duck hunting, deer hunting, everything. We'll have more coming up next week. And I promise you, while we're getting ready, we'll bring you back on. Keep bringing in fishing reports.
Will do.
Good luck.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
For coming up.
Paradise, Louisiana is brought to you by Circle K. Taking it easy, Louisiana State Parks. Follow your outside voice to our parks and historic sites. Farm Bureau Insurance, Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, Louisiana Fish Fry Products, Veterans Help Foundation, Relief Windows, Experience, Quality, Service, Catering Cajun, creative catering from casual to corporate. Visit Baton Rouge, an authentic Louisiana experience. Murphy Law Firm, don't be a victim twice. And by CCA Louisiana and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament.